Nation Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm Camilla.
Hello. You're sticking to the hello there?
Hello.
And I am.
You ruined the vibe of the room.
What vibe, okay?
I was vibing
That
before.
vibe? No.
I was vibing. You killed it.
Hey, you! So, I know that some of you aren't watching because you're at the UK Games Expo right now.
How dare you
Ooh.
not take me with you?
No, but
What?
announcement, you guys will be in England.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
will.
Okay?
This is in August
Sure.
Let's go with yes.
and for Aircon Manchester, right?
Yep. I
Manchester,
don't know.
England.
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll
Yeah,
be Z,
very
Camilla,
excited.
and Mike will be there.
That's right.
Yes. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, you don't get to lord your, I'm in the UK hanging out at the coolest of spots over my head anymore.
Did you get that?
Not really.
I
no
didn't
one's
think
ever-
so. No, I didn't.
Anyhow, if you
Who cares?
so we have a couple things here before we start. First of all, Dice Tower District just launched, and there's like almost 200 people on it already, dropping listings where you can buy and sell games to each other. We have a link in our link tree in the comments, and you can go there and buy and sell games. Nice, easy way. Very good mobile implementation too. Very easy to scroll through. I just went there and looked for a game today. Wasn't there, but if anyone here wants to sell a copy of Forest Shuffle, let me know.
Oh.
Like I'm serious. If anyone's selling Forest Shuffle, let me know.
I'll
Like
sell you
how
a
many-
Forest Shuffle.
Huh?
Oh, how much will you give me?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a copy.
How much you want? How much?
No. Look this way.
talk.
Hey. No.
Wait, you can get it from
no.
her.
Hey.
Okay, never mind. I don't need You're out. All right. Secondly, we want to say it doesn't start till tonight UK time. Oh, okay. Never mind. Then. That's
I
right.
apologize for being mean then to the UK people. I'll
Yeah,
be mean
not
to you
till
tomorrow.
Aircon Northwest says Mike. All right.
Nah. Thanks, Mike.
Or NW. I'm assuming that means Northwest. Anywho,
What else would it
we want to
mean?
say thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers who backed our Kickstarter, which, by the way, you still can go jump in on that if you miss it, DicetowerKickstarter.com. We want to say thank you to ABC,
That's easy.
Thank you.
to Jeff Pleadwell, to Angela Fortunata,
I know her.
Hey,
Hi, Angela.
to Mike Heller, who I will
I know
see.
that guy.
Also know
Hey,
him?
Mike. He's right there.
I will see him in less than 24 hours. To Renee McKenzie from Mexico, and to Kurt Evans. Thank you
Kurt
all.
Evans. That's Captain
Who's
America.
next?
Huh?
That's Captain America, Kurt Evans.
It's Chris Evans.
Oh, that's his cousin.
Kurt Evans is.
He held the shield for him in between takes.
Alrighty, well, there we go. Let's get started with the news. Just a bit of news today, not much at all. So let's get started here with our first thing, which is Beetlejuice.
Haha.
Which I'm usually not a big fan of these bringing back old movies, like the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. I kind of drag my feet on and all this, but I am pumped about the Beetlejuice,
It's been a while, huh?
mostly because I just like Michael Keaton playing that
Michael
character.
Keaton's great in whatever you put him in, so.
Anyway, WizKids is launching Beetlejuice. It's Showtime, or actually it's HeroClix Iconics Beetlejuice at Showtimes.
So this is Hero Clicks.
It is, and I think but it's yeah, it's a HeroClix Battlefield. Well, we're talking about this because it's a slow news week, so. Also, it's Beetlejuice.
That's cool. Hero Clicks. Wow.
Is
okay.
HeroClix interchangeable? Like you can
I think if
Well,
it's
like you
Hero
can play
Clicks, you can kind of put it. I
Beetlejuice
think
with
it's-
somebody else, kind of like Unmatched. Kind of like you can grab the different ones and play together.
You make a team, so yeah,
Yeah.
you can kind of
Okay.
have whoever.
Yeah, you
right?
can have
Cool.
whoever you want. It's mostly superheroes.
Right.
And Beetlejuice.
In the past, they've done. They started with Mage Knight, and then they did. I think
Knight.
HeroClix was next.
Mage Knight was actually a different system, so you can't play it together.
No, you can't play it together. Then there was Horror Clicks, which I don't know if it's compatible with HeroClix or not.
I think it is.
Roy thinks it
That's
is.
They had
interesting.
Yu-Gi-Oh, They had Lord of the Rings.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Didn't
Lord
they
of
do
the Rings.
HeroClix
Yu-Gi-Oh, that's
2.0 though?
horror?
Wasn't there like a
HeroClix 2.0.
revamping of the whole series? Will you shut up?
I'm trying to make sure
Echoing.
that they can hear us.
It was my mic off and yours
Oh,
not.
you're right. Yeah.
They did revamp the whole thing.
did
but you
revamp
could
the whole
still
thing,
technically
but you
play
could
with the old
technically
stuff.
still play with the
was
old
just
stuff.
Worse.
The old stuff is just
revamping
worse.
Was like
The rapping was like
Okay, I'm moving on. This
You're
is
What'd you say?
gonna break-
power creep, not
oh
Perry the
power.
Platypus.
I heard platypus. Power creep.
all right. One of the One of the faces of Board Game Geek is Candace Harris. If you've not seen her stuff, she runs a show there and does a lot of cool things, and a great gamer. And she's designed a game called Rivals of Rock, which oddly is being printed by Academy Games. This doesn't seem like it fits their branding, but whatever. That cover is great.
That is a really cool
awesome.
cover. That
is a good-looking game,
Wow.
man. Woof.
This is coming to crowdfunding later this year. I don't know which one it's coming to. You are a musician and a leader of an ambitious, hard-working rock band in a small town with an up-and-coming music scene. A world-touring rock festival is coming to your city in a year, and they're looking for one band to headline the festival. Hopefully that's you.
That is sweet.
Has worker placement in it. Yeah, this is interesting.
that's really cool.
Those people are having a good time right now.
Yeah, that's such a
I
good
like this.
illustration, too, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know
Very
who the
cool. And
artist
Academy Games, that is an interesting matchup, but they do good quality stuff.
is. All right. Then we got By the Seashore. This is coming out in June. This is from Gold Seal Games, and the designer is Mondo Davis. You're a beachcomber going through the beach collecting things. I was at Pensacola Beach a few weeks ago and saw a guy come by with the metal detector.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that in real life. That's
I
cool.
think
I
I've
would
seen it,
definitely
yeah.
I could see myself doing that like a dork. Like, I
Really?
don't know, there's
Like
something
getting
about
into
that I do
Really?
like.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But
think
Mondo
you're looking for-
Davis here is...
Shark teeth.
Mondo Davis has another game that is in one of the ones coming out from 25th Century Games in that they're publishing right now on Kickstarter, I think. 4
Oh.
games at once.
Oh, that
And
one.
one of them is from this designer. I just recognize the name because it stands out.
You're talking about that series that had Run, Run, Run in it?
No, the ones right now are the Sand Art and Big Sur. There's like 4 games that they're doing together. Big Sur.
He did Colorfield
Big Sur, that's his.
and Big Sur. He also did Mansplaining and Colorfield. Both of those games I did not particularly like, just as a heads up.
Yeah, okay.
I do like this artist because I feel like she has a different style here of art.
It's very unique, right?
It almost looks like a painting.
You know what it reminds me of is a painting where then they take like the paper towel and like
Yes.
just dab it, has that kind of look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that dabbing?
I don't think that's how you dab.
I know,
Try
I
it
do-
again. Hold on, I need to see.
I do it incorrectly for my kids all the time. It really drives me crazy.
Try correctly
Next,
once.
we have Misty Valley. This game looks like it's from Kids Table Board Games, but it's not. Also looks like the cover of a VHS of a company that's trying to make a game that's like DreamWorks,
Yes.
but not quite. It's
Yeah.
a fine picture of art, but that's just what it made me think of. Anyway, this is from Oscar Romero and Grumblin' Games. This was kickstarted. Oh, never mind. It's going to be kickstarted.
Isn't
Okay,
Oscar
coming
Romero the
too.
one who makes those horror movies?
Yeah. Return of
Oh.
the Living Foxes.
I don't know. The board, I'm guessing that's still a prototype. Those look a little plain, but
I
maybe
think so.
not.
There's definitely that disconnect between
Yeah,
the
right.
cover and that. So I'm thinking.
All right, now good cover. Yeah. Stargazers. Look at that cover from 25th
Oh,
century.
that is gorgeous.
That looks like some Vincent Dutray.
Indeed. Well, I really like that black and white to the color.
I love
So
that.
good.
I love that.
So anywho, this is a game coming from 25th Century, Don Riddle and J.B. Howell. This will also be crowdfunded. Normally I don't talk about all this stuff again, folks. Slow news week. But anyway, this cover is great. You are a space enthusiast, and then you are looking through a telescope
Yeah.
and then painting what you see,
Interesting.
which I don't know, is that ever done? But anyhow, it looks like a set collection style
really
game.
cool.
And you're building a mural.
That's neat. Okay.
All right.
Then we have a company, this is from GMT, a game from GMT's P500, founders of Ravik.
Yeah, but who's the designer, Tom?
Richard Garfield. That's
Hello.
right. This is actually a big deal. Richard Garfield working with GMT. What a weird
On a
combo.
P500, I know.
Yeah, well, I
Do you
wonder
know who
why.
Richard Garfield is?
He designed that game that I don't
Here we go.
really like. I can't remember. It's not Magic, is it?
It is Magic.
It is Magic?
Magic the
okay.
Gathering. And
Okay,
Robo
okay.
Rally and King of Tokyo.
What? Oh, King of Tokyo. That's it. I
He's
was like, he
being-
did one I didn't like. I
He's
did
being a
like.
board game snobby
Wait, is it?
jerk. Yes.
Is it really
Well, we
magic?
just yesterday did
Oh,
Richard
okay.
Garfield stuff, so that's why I'm messing with you. That's all.
That's why you're being
Uh,
a jerk face.
And we made up
Jerkerson.
a real facts about Richard Garfield yesterday.
Well, a real fact about Richard Garfield is he designed this game, which is pretty impressive. That again, I'm surprised they're even P500ing it. Like with Richard Garfield's name on it, just published the thing. But
I mean,
maybe-
it will fund, so why not do it this way?
I like the look of the cards. The board is less.
Oof.
The board is maybe the board looks better in person, and that cover also isn't exciting me.
The cards just kind of look like Splendor.
They do a little.
Blender killer. you heard
Anyway,
it
this
here
is an
first.
economic game of speculation and competition. You're starting on a planet. It revolves around resources and assets on the planet, and you're setting price. This is just straight economic. You know what that makes me think of is that old mining game that was done years ago from Stronghold reprinted it. I forget the name of the game.
Mike says he thinks the cover and the board aren't final.
Well, Mike can,
So-
go Google it. Okay? We're busy.
Speaking of Richard Garfield, we got more from Richard Garfield. More Mind Bug. We talked about this earlier with these battle fruits, which I'm excited
I
about.
love the battle
Battle
fruits.
fruit.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I want to get like one of those as like a big picture, just a battle
Oh,
fruit,
I
or
know.
a T-shirt. That'd
Or
be
a
a good
tattoo.
T-shirt. No,
Just saying, there's possibilities.
no. Anyhow, there's gonna be a Mindbug tag team expansion, and you can turn Mindbug into 2v2, and it's coming out. All this stuff's coming out in 2025.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, that's next year.
Then next we have
That just sounds
Keyforge.
weird that 25 is so close.
I know.
It's one of those
Wait.
moments of like, oh, that's not that far.
Is this like some sort of Richard Garfield festival going on that I
I
don't know about?
don't know.
That's 3 Richard Garfield things in a row.
This
that
is a new
Ember?
house and 200 new cards coming
that-
out the second half of this year.
Is that Ember or Amber or Amber?
It's Amber. It's
A-E?
pronounced Amber.
AEMBER?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that like
Okay.
one letter that's the A and the
Got
E
it.
together?
That's what I couldn't tell.
Like the Russians do?
Okay, Yellow. Yellow is teasing a new King of Tokyo game.
I am excited about this one. This is cool. That's Richard Garfield.
Oh my goodness me, it is a Richard Garfield
I know.
fest,
That's what I was gonna say.
okay?
I was like, he did that game I didn't like, but he also did one I did like, but I couldn't remember the
he
one
also
that he
did apparently every game coming out in 2025.
2025. He did
Unfortunately,
2025.
for you all watching,
Yeah.
I cannot speculate on this one because I know what the game is. I've seen the game.
Will you wink if I get it right?
No, I'll tell you
Okay.
off camera.
But I want.
Okay,
not
you
fun.
actually climb inside of a monster. It's like a LARPing type thing. Wink.
Anyway, this is coming later this year, I think. All right, Katmai, which is about bears. So this is a 2-player game of area control, careful planning, and very hungry bears.
Is that?
This is coming from Osprey Games, which is awesome.
What's that bear doing up there? Is that an eel with a sweater? Or is that a turtle with a red shell?
No, I think that's a salmon, and he is just eating it. Okay, that didn't help.
No, I think it's
let me
an
see. What are you talking
eel.
about,
It's
guys?
like an eel wearing a. What is
I
happening
know what
right
you're
here?
saying.
What is that? It's a.
I think it's blood. I think he's chewing it.
That's not.
No, he's
blood.
coming at it. It's not dead yet.
Okay, I don't know. Ask the bear.
I need to know what's happening.
That is quite the conundrum. You know who would know? Richard Garfield would know.
This is not a Richard Garfield
I'm
game.
pretty sure it's an eel wearing a sweater.
This is a game from Tom,
Do you knit?
from Peter Ridgway and Tom something. Loper, maybe it says.
I like the tile laying. It looks like a tile laying thing. It's got a cool look.
It's Odin's Bears.
Odin's Bears. There and back again.
All right, another kind of cool cover here.
That's cool.
Eterna, another game that starts with the AE. This is today's
In one
secondary
letter.
theme.
Oh, yeah,
Eterna. This is a Martin Wallace game where it's set in ancient Rome, and you are in charge of a Roman gens, which means family, and you're trying to get your prestige up. This is coming from Ares Games, but it's licensed. I mean, Ares is distributing it. The original game is from MS Edizioni.
It's got that.
I like how
Diablo-
it's designed by Martin Wallace. Also, he designed Brass Birmingham. That's what I would always say whenever I publish one of his
Yeah.
games.
Yes, absolutely.
It's got that like Diablo 4 thing going on with the
the rose petals?
falling, right? Yeah, Lilith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this is cool. I like that cover.
30 minutes per player. It's going to come out in November. and you will see it at Essen. And probably,
All right.
I would imagine there'll be a couple copies for sale at Essen. We'll see.
Cool.
And then we have Cook Islands. This is
Ooh.
who designed this one? Another
Garfield?
famous. This is Klaus Jürgen Reid.
Oh, hello.
He is
This
the designer
man who
of
did
Carcassonne. So this is another Tilings type game. This is in the Carcassonne genre, I think. This is coming from Treffel. And James Cook, he went around and discovered things, and so you're putting out things and moving a ship around and discovering stuff too. I assume this will also come out, yes, at Essen Spiel this year, which I keep thinking is very far away, and it's like
not.
4 months. So
It's 4 months, but it's also like only a month and a half of being here because we have so many cons back to back. So it's like right around the corner.
That's cool.
I really like how this game looks. I wonder if that board looks big or else those tiles are small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
that
which
is
way
true.
that is.
Looks also like it's. Oh no, are they on top of the board or is it like recessed?
It might be it might be a 2-layer thing, right?
Okay, I couldn't tell. Yeah.
This is kind of like an Entdecker type thing.
Well, is there any more news?
Nope.
No, there is. I think there's one more slide, right?
Not that I see.
Nope. Okay. Then that is all. Well, I'll just say the last piece of news. I don't have a slide for it. But Dicebreaker, which was a tabletop news thing, was bought by IGN. I don't know how that affects
What
my
did
life at all.
Icebreaker used to do?
Dicebreaker just does. They cover a lot of things. They're kind of like an IGN themselves.
Whoa. Okay, I'm thinking of Diced. They're the ones that do
Oh,
rules.
that's what I was thinking too. I was
No,
thinking
not
of app.
Dice. Dicebreaker.
Okay.
This is the website Dicebreaker.
Dicebreaker,
They
they
have
did news.
videos, board games, but they cover a lot of RPG. They don't. They have like news about board games, but very rarely do they. It's kind of hit and choose, and they like to focus on
Interesting.
controversies, which I'm not interested in at all.
So they got bought by IGN. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike says refresh.
Mike says refresh. Well,
I can't because I put top 3 stuff in there.
yeah, we can't refresh. It's been
Yeah,
done.
Mike.
Sorry. Okay. well,
Sorry,
no
Mike.
worries. Anyway,
All right.
I love you.
that is the news. You see me. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our top 3. We're doing another board game designer. I missed the last one, which was Knizia.
You weren't here for that, I know.
Yeah, I don't even
You'll
care.
be here when we do Richard Garfield, the famous Richard Garfield.
Today would have been a good day to do Richard
I know,
Garfield.
it's Richard Garfield's season.
All right, anyhow. We're talking about Rob Daviau. Now, Rob Daviau worked for Hasbro for many years, and he was partially responsible for getting, like, he's done a lot of games from Hasbro that we know of because he's on Board Game Geek, but his name is not on the box or credits anywhere.
Right.
And then he eventually left Hasbro and worked for Justin Jacobson at Restoration Games for helping them. I mean, he is the main guy bringing these games back to life there.
He worked for a while. He was independent for a while. And he still is, I guess. But then he started...
Sure, he's still working with other companies.
Yeah.
And he's probably best known, and we'll talk about what he's best known for because this game's going to show up in...
No, I don't think so.
It is.
It might be my number 3.
All right, well, you're first. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Pandemic Legacy, specifically Season 0.
Is it?
Hold on a second, don't look.
Are you sure?
That's what I had said.
He just tells us how to look, so now my eyes are closed.
Oh my gosh, that's what I said. Okay, I pointed. Oh.
I can make it that number.
Cool. That's fine. It was the wrong number. Yeah. This is my number 3. You put it as number 1. Maybe you're like thinking I was going 1, 2, 3, and I was going 3, 2, 1.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is my number. Now I'm confused. 3, Pandemic Legacy. I really love this system of taking a game that I know and that I love and then just making big changes in the game. I think Season 0 specifically feels very unique in Pandemic. It almost feels like one of the other shoot-offs. One of the, like Iberia or something like that. It feels like its own standalone thing, so...
Yeah, and then obviously we give credit to Matt Leacock for being part of this. But Rob Davio, the idea of bringing the legacy games, starting with Risk Legacy, which completely blew my mind when I played that game the first time. And then obviously Pandemic Legacy took that into the stratosphere. And then you picked 0 for your number 3.
Yes.
What's your number 3?
I don't know. I need to look. What's my number 3? That one?
Yeah.
Fire! My number 3 is Pandemic Legacy also, but I went with the original. Actually, I'm not even picking any one of them. I like all 3 of them. I just picked the first one because it was first. And I think if you haven't played any of the Pandemic Legacies, then you should start with the first one.
I agree. It's not 0, 1, 2.
Right.
Start with Season 1
yeah,
for
Season
sure.
1 is where you want to begin.
But after 1, you can go to 0.
Yes.
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing here was just the mind-blowing nature of playing through this and the things they did, the mind-blowing audacity to change things the way they did and to have such epic review. This felt like a great season of a TV show, and I can't think of too many board games that give me that feeling of something happening and you going, this will never be the same kind of thing, you know? They kill the main character in a TV show, or they have a character become evil instead of good, or whatever. Big changes which make you feel like we can't go back.
And there was definitely, like a TV show, those episodes where you're like, I'm really nervous to start May because April was rough. Or what's next? Or like that cliffhanger kind of ending. It has that angst going into each month as well. So each game,
there were a couple in there that were like business as usual, play the next month or whatever. But for the most part, almost all of them were like big epic things. So
that's really good.
Those are great.
All right, my number 3 was number 1 for a long time and could be number 1 after it's re-released soon, and that is Heroescape.
Yeah, baby.
Now, again, this is Rob Davio is hard to talk about because he doesn't do many games on his own. Like this was designed with Craig Van Ness and with a couple other people were involved with this, and but he still was involved with it a lot. And I love Heroescape. I love the anachronistic nature of the game. The whole, I got these guys from the future, but there's a couple Minutemen who showed up from the, some Vikings and whatever. I really like it. It's a silly toy thing, and it's interesting for me because the new one's being released here right when my son is of age to play this. So this is going to be cool. It does bother me because a lot of people come up to me and say, I watched your Heroescape reviews when I was a kid. And I'm like, wait, now?
Doing the math hurts.
Yeah, I guess you did. It's been a while since it's come out. Not quite 20 years, but it's close.
Gosh, really?
Yeah. So Heroescape is being reprinted by Renegade this year. The pre-orders went out. I know it's coming out soon. I feel pretty confident it will be at Gen Con, or at least it will be displayed, a final copy of it there.
Wow. I didn't realize it was
So
that
yeah,
soon.
I like Heroescape. My number 3.
Nice. My number 2 is one that I thought I was going into, I thought it was just going to be more about the IP, but I really enjoyed the gameplay, and that's Stranger Things. I was really surprised by the uniqueness of the system itself, where it has kind of the Pandemic vibe. I mean, you can definitely see his design and his idea roots in it, but it feels unique in the way you're playing the actions and trying to, there's these little walkie-talkie symbols which are going to cascade and cause these bad things to happen. And so it's just a really good balance of mechanism, I guess is the best way to play it. I love Stranger Things, and so I went in thinking like, I'm going to enjoy this for the IP. But as far as a cooperative game, it's very on the nose with the theme. Very good implementation of it, but feels unique in its gameplay at the same time. So yeah, I really was surprised by how much I liked the actual gameplay in this one.
This is a good one to toe that line between being something that you could sell to people at Target and they can walk into it and not be put off, but also you can just play if you have a lot of experience in games, and you won't be like, oh, this is mindless.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a good balance there. That pushing your luck or like the number stacks thing being the central idea.
Right,
is
and,
pretty cool.
and not knowing when the Demogorgons are coming out and where
Yeah,
they're going
yeah.
and how strong they are, it has a really good, again, with that angst,
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
cool.
to it. So, yeah, I like it a lot.
All right, my number 2 is Unmatched in all of its forms. I picked one of my favorite sets here. Cobble and Fog is a fantastic set. I'm still waiting on that Cobble and Fog 2. More characters from this era, but yeah, it's a
Oh, there's
dueling.
another Cobble and Fog
No,
coming?
I'm saying I would love for them to make another one.
Oh, okay.
I want more Cobble and Fog type characters because this setting, the late 1800s thing, is such a fun time to mine characters. Kind of like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type vibe, you know what I mean? I want more of
That
that.
classic movie.
Yeah. Anyway, Unmatched is dueling game. You have a character, maybe some sidekicks, your own deck of cards, and you're fighting somebody else. Yeah, I mostly play head-to-head, but you can play with 3, you can play with 4. They even have come out now with a different set that turns the whole thing on its head and makes it cooperative. But I'm talking here Unmatched, the original flavor, taking, somebody and clashing them with somebody else. This is based on a game that's also from Rob Daviau, co-design, that had a Star Wars theme, right? Star Wars Epic Duels became Unmatched, and I think it's been a fantastic run. They've really, they've knocked this out of the park. This is not just a Rob Daviau game. He has co-designers, but what an amazing journey this has gone on. So, yeah, my number 2.
All right, my number 2 is from Restoration Games, and that would be Return to Dark Tower. Return to Dark Tower. I debated on this one because it was like Thunder Road. I like a lot too. But I really like the cooperative nature of Return to Dark Tower. And it's funny because the thing I thought I would like the most would be the tower. And the tower is cool.
Yeah.
But I like this. I like just the game itself. I like the app a lot.
You like
And
that
I-
push your
Pretty
luck
smooth, right?
combat thing?
It's not even so much push your luck. I just like the system.
Yeah.
The system of clicking the cards and making them less negative towards you. That just works so well. Like the number of times I can press that card and it gets...
Yeah.
And also
It
this...
feels a little bit like Slay the Spire, kind of almost, when you think about it. Like, the way you upgrade cards in that, you kind of downgrade them to hurt you less.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like how plug and play it is. Like, I'm going to play this bad guy, this scenario, these minions, these heroes, and, I don't have to figure it out. I just type it in the app, and it's done, and it plays, and it's just fun. And I also like the different events that show up. I like that there's side quests you can do, like the tower. Like there's a dungeon you go in, and you can go do it. The game doesn't punish you for not being optimal.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this game's a reasonably difficult game, but not overwhelmingly so, which is also something I'm tired of playing games that just beat the crap out of you. This one I've beaten several times. I've lost, but I've also beaten it, and I like that.
It's a good balance.
I haven't played this nearly enough.
I haven't played it at all.
Oh, you've never played it?
I've not.
Because I played it... I might not ever have played this with the full out, you can go and buy it edition.
Got it.
Because I played, I want to say, a couple of times, but it was all in the lead up to it being out.
Sure.
I need to try this again. It's been too long. And again, I want to play the final one.
That's my number 2.
My number 1 is Cthulhu Death May Die. I just love this game. I love the epic nature of it. You were talking about ones being really hard. I feel like this is one that I just get beat up on, like playing it. But I love the story, the balance of the characters, the way you are upgrading your characters as you go through, a high cooperative nature to it. Yeah, I really, really like Cthulhu Death May Die.
That's my number 1 as well.
Yeah, I'm not-
Cthulhu Death May Die.
No!
I agree with everything you said. I love the fact that this game doesn't have that feeling of things start slow and about halfway through it has ramped up and then it
Right.
gets to a crescendo. You start about halfway through.
Right.
It's like things are already kind of,
From your first
overclocked.
turn, you're like, whew,
Yeah,
let's
and
plan
then
out. Yeah.
I like that it comes down to, you said you get beat up, but the way I found it to sort of wrap up actually is you're down to like 2-3 turns, and those last 2-3 turns are do or die.
Right.
I am this close from going insane. The monster is at the
Right
door.
there.
I have a handful of dice, and I'm like, all right,
Let's
Here
see.
we go. I drive
yeah.
myself a little bit more crazy, and bleh.
And that's so funny.
I made 22 hits.
Right, because you
know?
have that hand of dice, and that just feels so good. And you're just shaking. You're like, I don't want to drop them because I don't know. But you've got 7 dice. You're like, here, It's so rewarding.
It's
so
really like they
rewarding.
nailed that. Again, the finale, the showdown of a thing. They nailed that feeling in it.
Yeah.
And my number one is a crossover with both of you, but more Camilla than Z. And that
dare
is
you, sir.
Pandemic Legacy Season 0. But again, just the legacy concept.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have put Ticket to Ride Legacy on here. I like that one that much. And this is my favorite of the pandemics. I love the Cold War theme a ton.
It's so cool.
So I think the legacy idea, playing through a game multiple times, and I'm always highly amused at people who get upset. Like, well, you can only play it so many times, as if you play any of your games that many times. I mean, so you might, but you very rarely do, and people yelling about it never do.
Yeah.
And I had an amazing time playing through it. The experience is fantastic. We had a great. I remember playing this one.
I know. I remember playing 1, though. I mean, for that matter.
Actually, I remember all 3 of them. Yeah.
I don't remember. No.
Is this one Season 0? Is this one that y'all took like a weekend and just powered through?
We
or
did
was it
not.
over a year? Okay.
We deliberately didn't on this one.
Okay, because 1, that's how you did 1, right?
No,
It was
one
over like
we did.
a week or 2 weeks.
One was over 2 weeks. We were doing
okay.
it every day.
Okay.
Like we were playing a couple games. Season 0, we spread out over a month and a half, I think.
Oh wow, that's still
We
pretty
were getting
quick now.
together. It was at the beginning of us just getting back together gaming again. It was you, me, Mike, and Roy, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
100%.
That was cool. I got to do that fun exploring thing in it, which was fun.
Yes.
Into the base. Yeah, love this game.
That's
Anyway,
cool stuff.
that's our favorite 3 Rob Davio games. Let's move on.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less. And lately I have been doing a deep dive into the That's Pretty Clever world of games. I've been playing all 4 versions a lot. I can't decide if version number 3 or 4 is my current favorite, but I like playing all of them. They're all very good. And they have a newer version of the game that is That's Pretty Clever Kids, which is geared for ages 5 and up. So of course I was very interested in this, got this, and we have been play testing it a bunch in my house. And I have been thoroughly impressed because it is the feel of That's Pretty Clever, but it is totally appropriate for ages 5 and up. The goal of the game is to get the most stars. So you aren't having to do math as part of any real math as part of the game. You just count up the number of stars you have at the end, and that's who wins. And you earn stars by rolling dice, and then the active player gets to select all of a certain background color on the dice, and then they get to mark them on their board. And the theme is so important to kids. It's a party theme. You have balloons, candles, presents, baked goods. So these are very fun dice to roll and to play with. And I've been playing this a lot with my 5-year-old daughter, who is rules are kind of a suggestion kind of kid. And she has done surprisingly well with this game. She actually does follow the rules. There were a few rounds where she kind of just marked where she wanted to, but then she got in line because it's just really rewarding to mark things off and get bonuses, and she is able to play and understand on her own. But we played this with my middle 2 kids who are ages 8 and 10, and they still enjoyed this game and were able to play and be successful. And it didn't feel too little kid to them, because I guess you don't grow out of enjoying a party theme. So they have different requirements. For yellow, the balloon roll, you have to fill from left to right, and you have to have rolled. You have to fill it in sequence, so it matters to start with that heart balloon. And then go on the orange, the candles. You have to have the right number of candles. So sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2. And then at the very end, it's 3. So that can be tricky to finish. And then it's a grid for the presents, and you can mark off wherever, but then you get bonuses by completing a row or column. And then you have to have a double in the blue to get any of the baked good items. So just really easy though, kids. Figure this out really quickly. Get it down, have their strategy down, and there's so many nice things about there's an active player and a passive player, just like in standard That's Pretty Clever. So you are getting things even when it isn't on your turn, so it's keeping kids active and engaged. Games really do just take between 10 to 15 minutes, and it's fun, and we've been playing it like crazy. I have an older son who's 12 now, and he's played Standard, That's Pretty Clever, and he's okay at it, but those are ages 14 and up on the box, and it does seem like that is very correct. You can play and do okay at younger ages, but it seems like to me there's a bit of a gap between That's Pretty Clever kids, ages 5 and up, to get to the That's Pretty Clever games, which are ages 14 and up. Fortunately, there are a lot of really nice family level roll and write or flip and writes that are in the middle. So I would go from That's Pretty Clever kids to games like Quicks, where it feels like a section of the That's Pretty Clever board that you're doing. So it's just a portion of the game. So it's manageable, family friendly, really nice. And then also Super Mega Lucky Box is a flip and write that's basically like strategic bingo. And it's Phil Walker Harding. And it is just, we have had great success playing this as a family. It's really fun, and it again, you're getting checking off boxes, getting bonuses. It's just really satisfying. But it is impressive to have created a roll and write that feels like the more advanced version, but a 5-year-old can play it successfully. So this is really unique, well done. And my only complaint is that we're definitely going to run out of the scorecards at the rate we're going through them. But just laminate a few, and we'll be fine. But that's it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and back to the folks in the studio.
Yes, let's talk about back talking, baby.
All
What
right.
are we talking about?
We're talking about buying and selling games.
Buy and sell
So
Okay,
buying and
gotcha.
selling games, and we're doing this obviously because we started Dice Tower District. We can buy and sell games, but buying and selling games is one of those things that I think people have, like stars in their eyes. When they buy a board game, you justify it by saying, if I don't like it, I can easily sell it.
It retains its value.
False.
Yeah, no.
We could bring in Kenny right now as Exhibit A. How easy it is to sell games. And he just went to Barnes & Noble and bought more.
Did he really?
He did. He was telling me about it. He's like, I couldn't help myself.
He needs to
He said
stop
he was
going
going to
to
show me a
Barnes &
picture
Noble.
actually of what he bought, and he didn't.
Just needs to not go.
Kenny has a disease, and the only cure is more
It's
board
more board
games.
games. Okay, yep.
But I mean, really, it's one of those things where you buy a game and you sell it. Well, there's a couple things. First of all, unless you buy the 1 out of 100 games that goes up in value, they all lose value
Yes.
instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yes.
instantly. You got
They're
to
like
keep
a
that in
car. You
mind.
drive it off the lot, it's not worth as much.
Board games
Yeah.
are not the investment you think they are. We talk about this often because people have sold off their whole board game. We bought a board game collection from people.
Yeah.
They don't retain their value.
Right.
And even if they do, so they go up, then you have to deal with shipping.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I remember back in the day I used to, and you might have. This is a long time ago, in yesteryear, right? I used to use BGG's built-in buying and selling system where you could send somebody a geek mail and make an offer for a game and then buy a game or sell a game or do a trade, whatever. And that did that for a bit. I made, 20 exchanges or
1,000?
purchases
Oh.
or whatever. And eventually sort of got pushed out of doing that because of shipping prices.
Right.
It finally tipped over to that, point where it simply wasn't worth buying a game that cost $45 for $15 and then paying $20 to ship it.
ship.
I'm like,
That's
I can just buy it new.
Right. That's the cost of buying new, and with $4
Well,
shipping
if you have
or free.
if you have the access to it. So there is that,
unless
right?
it was
Right.
unless it was out of
Yeah.
print, that's when it's okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and so again, some games go up in value, and those are the ones people always point to. They'll be like, "Oh, look at this game! It's impossible to
But
find.
that's
It's super
speculation.
expensive,
Like, you have no idea.
and it's bad speculation."
Yeah.
Board games also take up a lot of space. It's not like if you want to invest in Magic cards, you are way ahead on that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I can have a couple binders of thousands of dollars. If you have thousands of dollars of board games, Well, nowadays that might be 6 games, but
Right.
it's going to fill up your house, and then
Yeah.
shipping them is hard. Again, a Magic card I put into a nice sleeve, and you can put a padded envelope. You're done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Board game, you got to. I mean, you do this. We pack up some of our games and send them.
Yep.
Never an easy process. So the best way to sell them we found is in person. You know, at a con.
Or like a virtual flea market or something like that, where they've sold beforehand. You're just meeting up for the exchange.
Yeah, and that's what I recommend. But there are places to sell on the internet. There's eBay. eBay's, which used to be an auction place, and you know today I actually bid on something on eBay.
What? Really?
And I've never done that before.
Like
Well,
never
you
ever.
know you're probably not
I
going to
should
get
say
it.
never done before. Let me
It's been
rephrase.
too long.
It's been
Yeah.
maybe a decade I've been using the buy it now feature. But
Yeah,
this one
fair.
had the buy it now price was higher than their bid price, and I was like, I bet no one else wants this. So
Was it for a shuffle?
it was not for a shuffle. It was
It's like you will
it was
lose that
some
one. I'll go get it
There were
right
some
now.
glasses toppers from these things here. So, and I saw it, I was like, no one wants that color. So I bid on it.
So sad.
Anyway.
So sad.
So, but eBay is hit and miss, right? It could be there, it might
Yeah.
not be there. But it is a good way to find some board games. And there's some people who are like experts. They know that Carcassonne is spelled incorrectly by a lot of people. So they have like incorrect spelling
yeah.
searches where you can find things.
Jeez, wow.
After that, you have, I guess, Craigslist, but that's more of a in-town type thing. And
Yeah,
Craigslist is, I always think of Craigslist as creepy Craigslist
I
because
say, yeah, it's gone down.
you're never sure whose house you're going to.
Yeah.
And then there is Board Game Geek. You can buy and sell
Sure,
games back
right.
and forth there. And there's not many other places.
I mean, there's also, I
Yeah.
think somebody said it in the chat, there's also local game stores that'll do it. I know one of mine up in Baltimore had a, like they would buy the used games, and so they had used game sections. So you
Yeah.
could sell back. You sell to them, you can either get store credit or cash. You
and
know,
unfortunately
that
for
kind of
most
stuff.
people, though, that's not an option. We've
Right.
never had
Right.
that option here.
Yeah, most game
and
stores.
we're in Miami.
I would
Yeah.
hazard a guess that most game stores won't do that. They want to sell new, full-priced games. You know what I mean?
Right, I agree. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think, but there was a section for that, so I do
That's
think,
cool.
you know, there
Actually-
are some that have that.
One of the stores up in, I went to a store in, not Boca Raton. Where does Bonager live?
Hell.
No, for the beach.
Papana, that's like all of them. What are you
Yeah, up
talking
there in that
about?
area.
Okay,
Anyway, I went to a
yes,
board
I
game
mean-
store that had a whole section of used games there. I went and went. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and they were all mostly garbage. So that's there. But again, you're hoping that the person who wants that game walks and looks at it. You know, it's a little
Yeah.
bit trickier to
Right,
find.
Yeah.
right, right.
But anyhow,
So we have District now.
yeah, which is the thing we're starting. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that it's the best. Well, I want to be cautious on that. I
Yeah, yeah.
think
Yeah.
it still
It's
has
the
problems.
best way to buy and sell games anywhere.
You're still shipping. It's still a
Yeah.
thing. I just think in general, when you get rid of a board game, it should be because you're getting rid of that board game. It shouldn't be the thing you go into the game. I don't think you should buy a game with the
Right.
intent on selling it. I really don't.
That's not a good justification of, oh, I'll be able to turn it over and sell it, or, oh, I'll be able to
Right.
get X amount back. Like, by the time you take in, like you said, shipping, the emotional energy of, you know, posting
Yes.
the game and finding somebody and meeting up with them, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not a good justification to purchase the game.
But I do think
But
it is
you
a
have-
good thing to do periodically to reassess your collection of games.
Sure.
Because most people are not collectors, nor do I recommend you be, you know? This idea of keeping a game because you collect them even though you know it's bad and you to yourself say it's bad, then don't keep that thing. You know, don't do that. You collecting board games has no value unless it's making you happy, and I feel like a lot of people are telling themselves they're happy collecting games.
Right. At what point is having the games becoming a barrier to playing the games?
Yeah.
Because you look at it, you're like overwhelmed, like, I have so many games. Now I feel guilty. I don't know. I'm just going
Right.
to go have a drink and play a video game instead. You
So
know,
I think
like,
it's good to periodically reassess those things you own, bring them back out into the light, give them another look, and if it's not making you happy, then yeah, list it somewhere. You can do District, you can do whatever, take it somewhere. But yeah, I think it's good for you.
Yeah, so District is more just like specifically focused on board games because they keep talking about like Facebook Marketplace, which I've sold some on Facebook Marketplace. It's nice because it's such a huge pool of people looking
Right,
at it.
right.
But Districts is specifically for board games. So it's not going to be board games sitting next to a couch, or a lamp, something like that. Like per se.
Smoke-free home.
Yeah.
That's what they always say. Smoke-free home.
Smoke-free home,
And
yeah.
pet-free home, they should say, too.
I'm glad when they say both those things, yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks, that's it. A shorter smorgasbord today, but hey, we're not done for the day. We'll be back. Well, when I say we just mean Camilla.
That's right,
We'll be
I'm
back
not
with
back.
Joey and Chris with our top 30 to 21 board games of all time. All Richard Garfield / Rob Davier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have those two ever made a game together? Because that would be, the game of the month. No?
I don't think so.
We're going to
but
think
maybe.
about that for the next 20 to 30 minutes while we say goodbye.
And then we'll
No,
have
I
15
feel
comments
like-
about it. So,
I feel like they've done something together. Now you got me thinking about it. Not King of Tokyo, which would seem like the obvious possibility.
is there a legacy King of Tokyo, perchance?
I cannot say.
Wait, what?
No,
What?
no.
No, calm down. Okay, bye, everybody. Good night.
Did
Have a
we?
good night.
It's not King of Tokyo like me, oh my word.
Calm down. Ixnay on the. Don't read into it. Tonight.
Blink once if I got it right.
Alrighty, anyway, we'll see you next time. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. And you can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.